It's your boy Dustin from the Flying Chairs, the Rise podcast, and today, oh shit, you won't believe it. Me and my co-host Melissa got a whole group of people here today, and we're just gonna rile them off right here, right now, for everybody who wants to know them a little bit better. So, Natalie, I want you to start us off.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Natalie Smearman. I am from Relic Films Media, Blondes and Booze, and Paranormal Among Us, and I hunt Bigfoot, all things cryptid, portals, and the paranormal, and anything that goes bump in the night. So, next up on the wheel is Miss Kristen. Kristen,
hey.
Introduce yourself.
Can you hear me? All right. A little lag there. Hi, I'm Kristen. I also hunt Bigfoot and all things weird. Have an interest in paranormal as well, and kind of stepping over into the portals and just the realm of oddness. So I'm just here to have some fun and see what everyone's been up to, because it's been a while.
It has been.
Yeah.
All right.
Kara.
Okay.
Kara.
Hi, everybody. I am Kara Phillip. I am probably less Bigfoot and cryptids, but very interested, and definitely more the ghost side of it. I do have my own talk show on Paraflix. I have been very delinquent because I've been busy lately, but delinquent in filming it. But one of these days, we'll get another season out. And so definitely more the paranormal. And I love learning about everybody else's involvement and everything.
Robert.
And hey,
oh my God,
what's going on? It's Robert Earl White, Robert Orasi, I don't know. Jack of all trades. I know Dustin, Flying Chariots, The Rise, been coming on with Dustin for a long time. Started with all the UFO stuff, and due to censorship after making it to the top in DC, being personal friends with whistleblowers, I know when I'm not welcomed, and I know when my story will not see the light of day. Oftentimes in these communities, when you have actual intelligence that is actionable, nothing gets done. That's the bureaucracy of it. So I left the UFO disclosure community after 5 years of going all the way to the top and finding out how corrupted it all is. And I recently, back in August, joined my first love into the paranormal realms, going out and investigating, working with many other teams, filming, producing, editing, all that stuff. And I've done a lot of different things. I went to Bible college, became a pastor. I was in a heavy metal signed Christian band, toured around the country with bands like Ice Nine Kills and August Burns Red. Did all this stuff, went to the Middle East, lived over there for 2 years in Turkey on the Black Sea. And now I'm going back to my first love, because back in like 2004, 2006, when Ghost Hunters first came out, I was obsessed. I just watched it over and over. My tism went all out on Ghost Hunters. I was really into it. I bought like the crappy little equipment, like a K2 meter, a Sony Handycam with IR night vision, a digital thermometer, and a digital voice recorder, all for like $150. Ghost hunting was cheap back then, and you didn't have to pay for anything because no one cared about it. And I got to go to a lot of awesome places, and then because of the music and life and travel and pastor and blah blah, I kind of just went away from that. I did go to Bible college, and my band was from Gettysburg, so I lived there for 2 years. And let me tell you, that's a whole nother can of worms. Now I'm doing the paranormal. As far as cryptids, I don't claim to be a cryptid expert, but I am one of the few people that recorded a cryptid on video that recently just dropped on Travel Channel's Paranormal Caught on Camera. So I'm no expert,
I
but
saw that
I am
episode,
the one
dude.
that got it
Awesome.
on footage. So
I saw that
people-
episode. I was tripping
Yeah.
out that I was seeing you on there.
Yo, it was pretty wild seeing myself on TV for the first time. I never made it on TV for having a UFO crash behind my house. Oh, that would never make the light of day.
No,
I joined the
definitely
paranormal
won't.
community, and then the doors just open up. I'm like, oh, finally, the government's not mad at me for hunting ghosts. So I'm just going to stick with it. And that's a little bit about me. Glad to be here. Glad to see Dustin. Just got to meet Melissa, too, at Paracon. we'll save that for later.
I was gonna say
But
we have to all
I'm
talk
glad
about
to
how
be here.
everybody met each other in the yeah, just recently. You guys have been bumping heads and in the past. So yeah, no, again, I just thought we'd get all together and just say, hey man, let's kick the shit for old time's sakes. Y'all have been on my podcast multiple times. And yeah, I'm just eager to talk about what's new in everybody's life. So Natalie, I seen too that you've been with a new team and doing some investigation with Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Let's hear some of that.
Well, we've got some really cool stuff coming up. We do have, we just filmed in November. Kristen was there as well.
Oh,
And
she was. Oh, it's
yeah,
amazing.
so we had a very, very large group of people filming, which was really, really cool. And so, we're out at the LBL and we're running all of these experiments, and the area is highly just such high strangeness and just bizarre area. 170,000 acres of land riddled with a history of murders and deaths and violence and a lot of strangeness. And there are multiple murders, unsolved murders on this land within the last 50 years. People were reported shredded, found partially consumed, bodies found up in trees. So it was really crazy. So a group of us went in knowing how dangerous it was, and we ran experiments. And then so one night after we went through several experiments and realized that it really we weren't getting the activity that we wanted, we decided to have an all-female investigation group, Kristen included, and we went into an area that was wildly strange and riddled with activity, and it was beyond insane what we came across, because we went in very vulnerable. We walked in, picked a fight, and then it just broke loose.
Oh my God.
And there were two men there. One was Greg Ogles, the owner of Relic and the producer, and Jim Powell, who is another cameraman. And they both had little pew-pews on them, tucked away. And then the rest of us, Kristen, I think you had a pew-pew on you.
I had a little.
I don't blame that one.
I love my bear spray. I was armed with bear spray because I was like, I don't want to hurt anything, just want to scare it away, whatever it is. If you come across a 9-10 foot bipedal hominid and they're growling at you and they're coming at you, I kind of don't want to shoot it. I just want to just say, here's some bear spray. I'm going to push you back now, and I'm going to go about my business. Right. So we walked in. I mimicked a growl that I heard at base camp a couple of days earlier. And I told the producer, I said, this is what I heard walking to the restroom at night, which was just a building and a hole in the floor. And so I said, can I do that? He goes, yeah, because he has no boundaries. Whatever I want to do, he's like, just do it. I'm like, it's really dangerous. He's like, do it. I want to get it on film. Right? So I do it. And then this crazy pounding starts from the ridge, and you hear boom, 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 and the ground's just shaking. And it just let loose after that. And Kristen had her therm, and we had cameras out, and we were basically surrounded. We had movement all around us, but at the top of the hill at the tree line was this weird light, and it was illuminating. It wasn't projecting light, it was just illuminating. And I'm like, does everybody see that? Because that's just weird. There's nothing up there. And it was like a bluish white in an oval that had little sparkling, like little lights around it. And so we were doing howls and growls and different things. And then Greg goes, I'm going to do a big, long growl. He's like, rah, And then all of a sudden, by that light, I see a crawler come out.
Oh, my God.
And it's on all fours, long, lanky. You could tell it was just long and lanky and just sitting there, just moving back.
Oh.
Wow.
No way.
Was it like a black figure? Did it have any color to it? Like, this is
No.
fascinating.
Yeah, so we did not have any lights on us because it was the day before a full moon and there was a clear sky. Everything was illuminated. So we didn't want to use any type of lights to project because then it would blind us, then we couldn't
Right.
see what was around us. Where it was, it looked black. Not necessarily saying it was black, but where it was in the shadows, you could see this figure. And then a second one came out.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going, oh no. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a third one came out.
Oh, my goodness.
And so
I
all
would have been
three-
out.
Yeah.
So Jamie, now we had two, Jamie and Melissa got physically ill during all of this from all the energy that was being projected towards us. And Kristen, you were off to my left-hand side watching everything. We had to like have our head on a swivel, just looking all around. And Jamie behind me going, what is that? And I'm going, I don't know. I have no idea what those things are. I don't know. And she's like, they're moving. And I'm like, I know, it's gross. And then all of a sudden I heard Greg yell so loud.
Yeah.
I looked over and he has an expensive camera, like 25 grand. He took it from one hand, threw it to the other, reached in for the pew pew. I'm seeing this thing, one of them charging at us, and it's like in a gallop kind of weird way. I'm like, oh God. And Mama Bear kicked in. And I'm like, I have two sick women behind me. And if this thing gets past, I can't protect me and them because I'm 5'1". So I grab my bear spray and I lunge forward and it halts and it retreats. Now, all of us are now like coughing and gagging. So we move back down the hill. Mind you, those three crawlers are still up there moving all creepy. We still have movement all around us. There's a weird dog behind us barking. Don't even know where that's coming from. We get all the way down to the hill and by where we parked the trucks. And then we hear what I thought was a woman screaming in the field behind us. And Jim came around going, I have something in the field staring at us. And Kristen, you came around, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to hand this over to you because
Yeah, here it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I come around and there was something on the thermal. I'm not sure exactly what, but it didn't move. It just stayed still. Not sure what it was. But during all this commotion, when this crawler was coming after Greg and us, I had the thermal up to my eye this whole time. It's not showing up on thermal at all.
Creepy.
Yes, that was creepy because I'm sitting here trying to see what they're seeing and I'm seeing absolutely nothing. But they're obviously reacting to something. And so I hear Greg scream as I pull my thermal down. Unfortunately, I'm like blinded still by the light of the thermal. And I just see hand movement and then I hear the shh, and then I'm like,
oh shit, get the fuck out of there.
But yes, we actually retreated back and we still had weird things happen. I think at one point before we left, we were hearing maybe music.
Yeah, we heard this weird it sound. Now we are in the middle of nowhere. Like middle of nowhere. And we hear what sounds like a car with loud music. There's no road where we're hearing this at. And then it just disappears.
Huh.
And while we were down there and the scream came behind us and the movement is coming in closer and closer, I noticed red orbs on the road in front of my truck and red orbs behind the other truck.
Oh, shit.
And I'm going, that's never good. Because I every time I see a red orb, it usually means that it's like, it's not negative, but it's like almost like a guard. Like, what are you going to do? I'm going to protect this area kind of feeling. And I'm going, uh-oh, we're now surrounded. We've got orbs, we've got crawlers, we've got,
We've got a bit of everything going on.
we have everything
Yeah.
going on. And then
Shit.
all of a sudden, Jim goes, my battery died and my backup battery died.
Oh, so something was draining. There's a lot of energy going on. So that makes
Tons
sense.
of energy.
Yes.
Greg goes, my battery died.
Ugh.
And Kristen, weren't you having problems filming with your therm?
At times it was kind of cutting on off by itself, kind of glitching a little, but that's not uncommon in these weird places.
Yeah. And my therm got fried earlier in the week when we were out. Something zapped it. It's gone. It will not work again.
Oh.
But as everybody's like looking around and we're hearing all this movement, I look to my left and I saw the largest Bigfoot walk behind my truck and it disappeared like that, vanished into thin air. The bottom of his butt cheek was at the top of the bed of my truck.
You got to see his butt
Bigfoot's
cheek.
ass.
I got because it was a side profile and he was huge. He was like massive,
Wow.
like giant arms, big barreled chest, and his glutes. I mean, he had some junk in his truck. And the bottom. Now I don't have a big truck. I don't. It's a Santa Cruz. It's a Hyundai Santa Cruz. Not big, but big enough to say the bottom of his butt cheek was at the top of the bed of my truck.
That's
Wow.
pretty big.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
size. That's comparison of what that is, and it just disappears. And I'm like, and then all of a sudden, batteries are dead, and all of this stuff starts happening. And then finally, we're like, do we stay? Do we go? And then Greg was like, listen, I've got to call this. We're bugging out. When we get to our vehicles, Melissa and Jamie get sick again.
Oh, no.
I get in the truck. I feel like something's sitting on my chest and closing up my throat. I'm
Wow.
like, we got to get out of here. We're just getting energy from all angles. So as soon as we got to the top of the road and made a left onto the other dirt road, we were fine.
Weird.
That's amazing. Would you
I was
say
like-
that this was the most intense experience you've had? I mean, this is just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't put
Argue.
this into words.
Yeah. Because,
Especially-
you hear people talk about, the loud, the pounding and the ground shaking. You hear about portals opening. You hear about crawlers. You hear about the screams. You hear about, cryptids just disappearing like that. You hear about these stories. I mean, I'm a co-host on 2 podcasts. You're going to hear this, but you're to witness it all in one night.
Mm-hmm.
I went back to base camp and sat down for like 2 hours. And
Yeah, you had to process everything.
I'm going,
What just happened?
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
just happened.
Well, it's cool to have another witness in the chat with
Yeah.
us. So it's
I
like,
know.
even better.
Yeah.
And this was all recorded.
There
There was a
of it.
film guy there.
Yes, there were 2 cameras going,
Mhm.
and we have
Oh,
film
man.
from the entire week of all of our investigations, which, I mean, there's got to be over 150 hours worth of film.
Wow.
Oh, you're still
And-
working on it. It's
Oh,
not
no,
available
editing.
to watch yet.
No,
I wanted to see this like
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
I will tell you. So the film, Relic Film, has Cryptid Expeditions, Land Between the Lakes, that is out now. That's at like the first one that came out. That's out right now. This is the follow-up to it. It's Return to Land Between the Lakes, Making Contact. We have so much footage that we are actually considering making 2 separate films
Oh,
from
cool.
all of the footage that we have,
You should.
because it could be 2 separate films from everything.
Mhm.
It was really incredible, and we got some really great shots. We got some great paranormal cryptid experiences. We caught something that was very bizarre on a therm that nobody could even understand. And that was one night where Amy caught what she referred to as a floating witch's hat on the forest ground.
Hmm.
And we're like, what? And so we
Yeah.
plugged it into the computer and watched it the next day, and that's exactly
You
what
saw it. You saw that floating witch's hat. Wow.
So that's going to be a
Wow.
part of the film, so you'll get to see that.
Okay.
What do you
Uh,
think that was? Like, was it, do you think somebody wearing it, or is it supposed to
No,
symbolize
this was
something? Or
floating
like,
around very small.
why is there a floting witch's hat? Like,
Or it's like a parking cone or something.
Yeah.
was it orange?
A gnome,
Was it
hat of a gnome.
Oh yeah,
It was
hat of a gnome too.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was
Gnome was
orange.
running.
You
It
know,
was
it
Those
orange.
garden
Yeah.
gnomes, especially
Those
from
darn gnomes.
Iceland. They don't fuck
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, so it's going to be really cool. We are going back out this year to film more, and hopefully to give you a whole different view of the cryptid world.
Mhm. That's amazing. You truly had a mix of everything going on. I don't think I've ever heard somebody having an experience where they have truly seen everything in one
know.
night. I mean, that's incredible. It's really incredible. And I
Yeah.
I was gonna say you're in a special area where was there some
That's
Native
right.
American burial grounds in that area, or
It's
like
Native
a
American.
cemetery?
Yeah,
I was gonna say, so
was
yeah,
a
the
lot.
LBL, there's so much there. Like when you look it up, you keep hearing
Yes.
about it. So and every time I look it up, I don't want to say I forget about it, but then somebody brings it up and I go, oh my God, that's right. That's the place I want to go. So many people have so many cool stories.
Yeah,
And a
we
lot
have
there.
a team.
Was
Yeah,
this
that goes out.
the last full moon that happened? The last
No.
one last month or before?
No, this was in November.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yes,
Okay.
Mhm.
And a lot of also what we had happen that even I experienced wasn't captured on camera, unfortunately. And we had a lot of strange things happen off camera that, you may have a thermal or audio or camera sitting right there, and then something happens and it's over before you can even think to grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right?
That's
Or you're
stinks.
just too in shock. Like when I saw that UFO in the sky, I wasn't thinking to grab my camera in my pocket. I was like, the fuck is that? No shit.
It's true. These things happen when you're not expecting it. So, and I think that happens like during paranormal investigations. That's what I do. And sometimes you can't capture it. It'll happen so randomly. So yeah, it makes sense.
Keep
It really
the cameras
does.
rolling all the
Exactly.
time. That's
Yeah.
my
Time.
strategy.
Yeah. And
Just keep
honestly,
them rolling.
Robert,
Next
do you have
time-
body cams with you?
The guy I work with, he has one he wears around the neck. Especially when we go to a place long before an investigation and we're just walking around or doing interviews and stuff. We're starting to learn that we need to have stuff going
On
because, like what
constantly.
they're saying, it always happens when you're not ready for it, and it's a shame. Luckily, we always have our cell phone on. It's not the best quality of footage. That's
It's
kind of what
good.
happened with me with the creature I saw, and yeah, but hey, in
The
desperate
fact that-
times,
Man, the fact that you were on TV for that one episode where this thing had red eyes and was sitting in a fucking tree and then like moved around and then was sitting somewhere else and shit, and his eyes it's changing and shit.
that's
Yeah,
so
it was
cool.
gnarly. It was
that
gnarly.
was it was pretty wild, and that encounter has a lot of things that connects to what she was just saying. Natalie's story about how these things look and morph, and when Kristen was speaking, saying, "I didn't see anything on the thermal, but we knew it was there." Like it was so weird. The video camera picked up the eyes, but I didn't see anything with my visible eyes. And when I heard the footsteps running right in front of me, I mean right in front of me, and there's nothing there, like it's just like what the heck? And the experts on Travel Channel, some call it a skinwalker, some say it's Bigfoot, some say it's some sort of other cryptid, and I said I don't know what it was. I know that it was absolutely crazy. And at that time, I wasn't even doing the paranormal thing. I stopped doing the UFO thing. I was just at an Airbnb in Williamsburg, Virginia, Christmas time. Went on my the back balcony that overlooks this area. I was just having a smoke, and I heard footsteps bipedal You can tell the difference. During the day, I heard deer running around. I used to have a
Sure.
pet deer. I know how four legs sound. We all have
I
dogs,
want a
cats.
Bambi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I mean, like, I think we need to talk about your pet deer.
Well,
Yeah, let's hear about
that's
this
a
pet
long
deer. It was
story.
like-
That was when I was a little kid. I had a pet deer. Right now, I have a disabled, famous ghost hunting chicken that
Okay.
is a house
Oh,
chicken,
Cool.
Dirt. She's
that's awesome.
famous. She got over 2 million views on Instagram and TikTok. She is the world's first ghost hunting chicken
Oh
because
my
she's
gosh.
That is
disabled.
awesome.
We have to feed her. So when we go to an investigation and we're staying overnight, we got to bring her along. So she actually ends up going to some pretty insanely haunted places. And luckily, the ghosts aren't hungry. So.
Having
That's
more
so
fun than
awesome.
me, you know? Yeah.
What's her disability? I have to know.
Oh, she has a condition known as scissor beak or cross beak. Her beak is crooked. It's common
Oh.
within the Easter egger breed. And
Oh.
she wasn't born like that, but about 3, 4 weeks into her growth that happened. She can't eat on her own. She can
Oh.
drink on her own, so we have to hand make all of her food. She wears a diaper. She's in the house. She's
A
Mm.
chicken.
no different than a dog.
Wow.
What kind of diaper? Where do you get diapers?
Yeah.
Like,
for
what is
chickens?
that in this diaper?
There is a massive underground chicken community of
Oh,
people,
Really?
Yes.
even others that have cross-beak chickens like ours that take care. There's a whole underground, there's a
So,
lot of people that love chickens.
I had a
okay.
disabled chicken. Yes.
Okay. But the
That's cool.
diaper, is that because she lives in the house?
Yeah, I
Or is
don't
that
want
because-
chicken poop all
Okay.
over the place.
Yeah, it makes
No,
sense.
I was like, is it because she's disabled?
Oh, no,
But that
no.
seems bizarre.
It's because she lives in the
The
house,
house.
and
Okay.
at nighttime she gets up on the back of the couch and watches TV,
Oh.
and she's very down to earth, and
Very down.
They-
She doesn't know about the million views. That didn't
I was-
it didn't do it for her.
I was gonna
Yeah.
show you. I was gonna show you girls. I found some baby raccoons,
oh,
Years ago.
Oh.
and their eyes were still closed, and their mother never came and got them. So I figured out their mother must have died. So I took them in and raised them for 6 months and fattened up them and got them eating solid food. But yeah, I was their mother. They would crawl all over me and shit.
That's
Hey, let's
cool.
How cute is
So-
that?
Rocket and Smokey were their names.
Good
name.
Rocket. Come on now.
actually, when I was younger, my mom had a raccoon, found
Oh,
it the
yeah.
same
So
way, but
cute.
they raised it, and it was close. It was 36 pounds, and it was.
They're so
yeah, it's a
chunky.
big.
Oh,
And it
That's
ate
good for
good. They
cuddling.
were feeding it, you know.
Feeding
Yeah,
it well.
yeah.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
love marshmallows.
Dangerous.
They go crazy for that.
How are your raccoons, Dustin, when you released them back into the wild? Like, were they okay? Like, were they a little?
Yeah, it was a big. It's a national park up in northern Madison. It's called Cherokee Park there, and yeah, I just set them up. They just ran up a tree, both of them.
And that
And I
was
heard
that,
too
yeah.
that by other people who raised raccoons. They say if you get them as siblings, the siblings will stay together and raise families together. So I'm like, I'm so
Oh.
glad that they learned from each other how to be a raccoon and stuff like that. And
Right.
yeah, it was nuts, man. I was like, I bought a rabbit hut, so I'd be out in the rain, like an umbrella with raccoons suckling on, bottles. I'm like, what am I doing myself? And then guess what? Someone called the game warden on me because I was living in a
Are you
condo
serious?
at the time. Yeah, so
Oh.
a week later, after I released them, the game warden with a shotgun slung over his shoulder is like, I heard you got raccoons in here. I'm like, I don't have them in here. I had them in a rabbit hut outside, and I was just telling him my whole story. It's like no one was taking them in, like the DNR and other
Right.
humane societies wouldn't take. They'd take like a skunk and everything else underneath the sun, but they wouldn't take a raccoon. I thought it
Take
was just
raccoons.
silly.
Wow.
Mm.
So yeah, so I raised them myself, and I released them at a good time where well, if I had them, I'd probably get fined heavily for having them. But no, it's just funny that the cop was like, "Yeah, I would have had to ticket you if you still would have had them here." I'm like, okay, bitch.
Like, I took care care of them and
I
fed
took care of
them,
them.
and
I saved some lives.
Yeah.
great. I mean, yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
crazy. Now, Robert, your experience that you were talking about, the figure with the red eyes, is that what was on Paranormal caught on camera, or was that something different?
No, that's what was on
That's what was on
Paranormal
Paranormal.
caught
Oh,
on camera. Just to break
nice.
down the experience really quick. So they obviously on Paranormal caught on camera, they didn't show the entire clip. They
Okay.
show clips from a much longer video. Once I hit record, I wasn't stopping recording, not after.
No.
It actually goes on for quite a bit. So, like I said, it was Christmas time, and I go outside, and the back patio is, and you won't hear this on the Travel Channel. I gave them all this information, but you'll understand why they're not putting it out there for the world. So, this house sits on the outskirts of Williamsburg, and there's a little river called the Queens River, and then there's the major highway that like goes to Busch Gardens, but on the other side of that highway, there's tall barbed wire fence all the way down the highway because it's a naval weapon facility. And more
Oh.
directly, the facility that was the closest to us was a special forces training facility. Now, this is
Hmm.
where it gets weird. The guy who owned the Airbnb, which I'm not going to name because I'm providing this information, was retired military and worked there. And he told me privately that it's a CIA training facility.
Mm.
And it's a massive, near Norfolk, a massive naval uh, weapons facility. So that's kind of the backdrop. So there wouldn't have been any animals or anything coming from that other side. So whatever it was had to be on that side. There was the Queens River back in the day. All the natives and the colonists would actually use that way to get into the backside of Williamsburg when they were coming there. But for there was tons of native tribes in this area, yada
Hmm.
yada yada. So the back deck is about 10 foot off the ground, and there's a gully going down, and the gully goes into a little marsh, and then there's the river that's a little open, or it's a really big stream, but river. And long story short, I go out there, I'm having a smoke, and I start hearing footsteps coming towards me, and like, I'm like, all right, deer, raccoon, something, right? So I'm like, well, I can't see. It's pitch black. Wintertime, no foliage on the leaves. So it's
Mm.
super clear, and I got a bird's eye view. And I whip out my cell phone just to see if I could see what kind of animal was it an owl foraging or something? I don't know. So I whip out the cell phone, and the second I basically, when you hit your phone on record, your flashlight will turn on. That's what
Mhm.
I did. So that's when I realized I turned it on. There's some outline of some sort of body, but these two huge red eyes looking right at me. And I'm just like,
Yeah, you're standing there frozen. Like, what
and,
is
Yeah.
that?
and it's hard to tell. But this object was actually very tall. In the daytime, I took a photo of the exact same spot, and when you overlay it, the daytime photo with the footage, and you with the same branches and everything, this thing was a good like
It was tall.
9 to 10 foot tall.
Wow.
That's
And
huge.
having the daytime
Mm-hmm.
photo with the exact branches and everything,
Mhm.
I didn't see the lower half of it. I only saw the upper portion of it, and there was a branch that was in front of it. And I guess the lighting was just enough to catch the top half, but I didn't see any bottom. It's just there for a short moment. The red eyes dematerialize, and I hear it run off probably 30 yards off to the right. Maybe that's even a little too far. It, not yards, let's say like 40 feet, 40, 50 feet off to the right. I
Yep.
hear the footsteps stop, but I'm still recording and there's nothing going on, but I hear something. And then two white eyes. It's the
Oh,
same thing, but the eyes
Mm-hmm.
change
white.
color. Now they're white, is farther away. They're white. They're just there. And at one time, slightly before that, Travel Channel don't see it, for a quick second, one eye just popped up. but
Oh,
this time it was two white eyes. I'm looking at it, like I said, 40, 50 feet away from me. I'm up on this 10-foot balcony, so I feel safe. I'm not worried, but I was pretty spooked out. And the eyes dematerialize, and then I hear through the leaves and debris, this thing is sprinting. I mean
really?
fast, right towards me. You hear it as clear as day. And you see me point my camera down because I'm up on the deck. I'm like, I gotta see what the heck this thing is. Is it gonna climb up here? I just saw that. It was like 9 foot tall. And I pan that camera down, and there is nothing there. And I start whispering because I wanted people to hear like the footsteps I was hearing. And then the footsteps continue a little bit, and then everything just
Just
disappeared.
stopped.
Huh.
Wow.
I didn't hear footsteps of anything exiting the area. In theory, something like that, I should
Extraordinary.
heard them
Sure,
leaving the
sure.
site. I didn't. So that was very strange. It was like it was there and it wasn't there. And I kept on rolling, but I didn't hear any more footsteps. I didn't see any more eyes. And I stayed out there for probably another 15, 20 minutes, hoping to like get
Hmm.
this to see what the heck I just experienced. Also, I wanted to make sure it wasn't some form of wildlife, you know?
Right.
I
Yeah.
this wasn't my home. This wasn't my land. I
Hmm.
was at an Airbnb on vacation. So, I just wanted to try to,
That's
figure out
awesome.
what was going
Yeah.
on. It was
That's
Yeah.
wild
insane.
though.
That
Did
is. And you know what,
you
Robert? I
feel
know I met you recently at the Penhurst Paracon. So all I'm thinking is, my goodness, you yourself are tall. What did you say? You're like 6'8". So I just can't imagine you staring up
You're a
at the
basketball player.
Wow. That thing must have been tall for you to feel like you were short,
Well, I was
compared
on a
to it.
10-foot
And you're on a
balcony.
balcony.
I was
Yeah.
looking down at it on a 45-degree angle. So
Hmm.
I was way taller than it. And a lot of
Okay.
people, when they watch the video, they don't understand that's a gully I'm
Yes.
looking down. So
Okay.
for the eyes to be almost a little
Level. Yeah.
below me up on a
Hmm.
10 foot looking at a 45, the thing's like 9 foot tall. Um,
Wow. That's amazing.
yeah, and if I wasn't
Yeah.
on that listening to their story about their encounters, if I wasn't on that
The
balcony,
balcony. Yeah.
you know,
That thing would have been towering over
I
you.
don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, I would have stood my ground. I even say that in the video. I'm like, I'm not afraid of you. I was like amping myself up because it was spooky. Um, I'm not afraid of anything, but when
Yeah.
I can't see it, how do you defend yourself against
Right.
For
something
sure.
you don't see?
Yeah.
Hmm.
right?
And,
Hmm.
at my house, if I had a creature like that coming up on me in a threatening way like that, I would have poo-pooed it, like right away. This ain't Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
Absolute proof. I'm not
Well,
gonna take it home and take
Hmm.
care of it like
I
my
was gonna
chicken.
say, thank God you
Yep.
weren't in a sleeping
Like
bag
your
or something
chicken.
where it sling you over its
You
shoulder
wouldn't
like
have put
that
a
one dude.
diaper on it.
Put a diaper on it.
Make sure you got some
So,
tobacco snuff there.
Yeah.
is there,
Shit.
so
But
do you have a
With the
link
chicken.
or anything
I'm sorry,
to
what?
where do you have a link up to where anybody can see the footage, the full footage?
Yeah, it's on my old YouTube channel,
And you
but
can see it on that episode too of
yeah,
What
Travel
about on your
Channel
new
Paranormal,
YouTube channel?
huh?
Why is it on your old YouTube channel? What about your new one?
I didn't
dun
want to
dun
put it
dun.
on there. I've really had to work really hard to break away from the old community I was in, and the algorithms and everything. Like that video, even though it's on Travel Channel and everything, on my YouTube it only has 1,000 views.
Then
Like
you
my
crazy.
old
repurposed it.
my old UFO channel is so heavily censored, and I know exactly the agencies that are doing it. I'm not going to get into it, but um my story and the
interesting.
information is a threat to national security. I've been trying to get justice for my family. They don't like that I'm breaking their narrative, and my UFO crash story
Let's say,
completely destroys their narrative. It
yeah,
says everyone in the community is getting a narrative handed down to them. Every time someone talks about Roswell, they are providing misinformation. It's all from the top down, and it's no one's fault. It's the way they control. It's Project Mockingbird. And if you have the truth, or if you have an entire photo album of some of the most mind-blowing, crystal clear UFOs, you will never make the light of day.
yeah,
But on TV, they'll have grainy, black and white
Mhm.
photos of UFOs, but they will
yeah,
never use the photos Dustin has. When
yeah.
you
Isn't that
have
crazy?
actual
I'll put them up right now too.
yeah, when you have actual information, they do everything in their power to make sure
Mhm.
you won't. Now, if you're getting out there and you're making stuff up and you're lying and you're talking about these fantastical stories, the algorithms eat it up. The crazier the stuff you say, the more you get pushed. If you have hard facts like I do, military transcripts, police phone calls, over 20 witnesses,
Yeah,
pieces of debris, and nothing.
Mhm.
You
damn.
know, that
Mhm.
it's how it works. But the great thing about the paranormal, completely different. You're praised for the evidence.
Oh yeah.
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 People love it. I'm not punished for it. So like
Yeah.
I'm honestly so happy.
That's
Paracon,
so cool.
1,000 times better than any UFO conference I ever went to. I
That's
had
so
the
cool.
most fun in my life.
Mhm.
I love this
There's been a lot of good
community.
conferences so far. Like you said that you guys had a conference. I had a conference here in Fond du
Mhm.
Lac. I was one in Chicago a few years ago. Actually, here I ran into an alien at the Brewer game. I was sitting right behind, literally sitting right behind this motherfucker, and
One hundred percent.
my
He's not
sister
here.
was like, "Is this fucking Carrot Top sitting in front of us?" I'm like, "I think it might be."
I
So
wouldn't
I
even
tapped him on the
know.
shoulder,
Yeah.
and that motherfucker I scared the shit out of him. He went, "Whoa!" I'm like, "Whoa!" I'm just a big fan, bro. He's like, "Yo," he talked with me for a second, shit, and apparently, it's funny that he was wearing Packer shit at a Brewer game. I was like, "What are you doing, bro?" So he's an alien. He's got the wrong gear on. But no, let's see what else I have. So I was at the Chicago uh, uh, convention, and I got to meet the head director of MUFON in Illinois. And I brought my photo album, and this motherfucker almost peed his pants. Him and his colleagues are all like hunched
They were
over,
all
like,
geeking
"Oh
out,
my
right?
God."
Yeah.
He was like nutting in his pants.
Nice.
I think he'd be, yeah. No, then again, it's just to hear um them actually talk about actually holding physical photographs. They had never done that in their career much, and then they know Wendell Stevens very well too. So I was just blowing their mind. You know, it's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
He got a big
Yeah.
ass smile on his face, like, hell yeah, you got the treasure trove. And then like these are like what Robert said, these are the
F
crystal clear photographs that I have.
F-117,
Yeah,
you know.
117 with a stealth fighter in Pensacola, Florida, 94 over
And look
the
at the
ocean.
angle. Look at
Yeah,
the angle. Like a craft sitting there completely still on its axis.
yeah,
You know, that
Amazing.
Yeah,
but
that
the
is.
Pentagon isn't showing these, and
yeah.
these
Why aren't
are
they showing these
absolutely
motherfuckers?
authentic.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's actually have the photographs and the negatives. So
Yeah.
fuck yeah, it's
Yeah.
on.
Yep. Especially since you have the negatives. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's cool because people can't accuse you of, oh, well, that's in the world we live in. Oh, that's AI. I mean, no.
no,
Especially the time that it was taken. So, yeah,
yeah, no, I
that's
love
really
it.
cool. Yeah, neat.
So Kara, I was gonna say Kara was, and then I know you're following the UFO disclosure. What are you thinking? What's
I'm
happening?
just listening. No, I was gonna say, like, I was gonna say, tell me about where we are in the UFO disclosure, because I will
Ah,
say, like, in the last, like, what, couple weeks,
yeah,
more stuff has come
they've been
out,
dumping out more stuff lately.
and I have not, yeah. So, like,
It's
are
Robert.
they? Because people keep saying, like, oh, the disclosures, and
But the
I
stuff
don't
they
feel
are
like
really,
I've seen.
it's
I don't
true. The
feel
last
like there's
stuff,
anything new. So, like, do you guys feel like there's anything really new? Because I don't feel like
the
it,
newest
even
stuff
though they're
I've
saying there
seen
is.
lately are just like the little dots flying in the
Mhm.
military
Mhm.
cameras. I mean, they're impressive nonetheless if they can't figure out what
I
they
have a
are.
thousand
Mhm.
videos that are 1,000 times clearer, better with my
Yes, I've
night
seen
vision
those.
camera,
Yeah,
and thousands. I've recorded literally thousands of them. Clear, bigger, larger, you know.
yes.
Yeah, it's just breadcrumbs. I'm not going to talk about it, but in the long run, I've actually became anti-disclosure. After
Mhm.
Oh,
seeing the division, the hate, the cults, the
Mhm.
ego within the community of people that full-heartedly believe in these things, I
Mhm.
do not think humanity is ready. I
Oh,
saw the
okay.
I agree.
disgustingness within the spiritual love and light community and all of that. It's so toxic, and these are
Yeah.
people that are love and light and believe
Right.
in these things. Imagine when it goes public. Do you know how many new cult religions there are going to be?
Mhm.
yeah.
Thousands, uncountable. You know how many people are going to be
I-
fighting each other,
I'm gonna be one of
like
the
King
leaders.
Edward and Twilight and stuff? Like, I follow this alien, you follow that alien. Galactic Federation of Worlds, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be pandemonium. And after being silent so much, it's crazy. I used to be the biggest advocate for disclosure on planet Earth. 1991. I've been at this since 1991. When I was 3.5 years old, that's when this happened. My mom was an abductee. I encountered a lot of crazy things. I'm not getting into it. I don't even care about it anymore. But it's it can't happen. We're just not at that point spiritually, and we're
Do you,
not there technologically yet.
Mhm.
It
but
cannot happen.
do you think a lot of the infighting and whatever is more because it's little breadcrumbs? Do you think if it
Ego.
just
That's what I was
Ra-
take
thinking. Ego. Yeah,
like
that's the
it's
word
Take
that
it
came
not
to
off.
mind too. Yep.
take away the competition of it, take
Mhm.
away the different groups,
They
if it
won't be able to make
just
money
Mhm.
once
well,
everything's
yeah,
out there.
exactly. So there's
They won't
no
be able to say,
competition for
I
it.
know something you don't know, and you will pay me money for me to
So
tell you.
Mhm.
and I think that's been a big thing, I think, with the paranormal community. Like, what's the winning? There's so much competition, right? Like
Yes, you're
all
right.
of these different groups. And what that's been like so my best friends, like in the community, our morning messages to each other, right? Like our commute messages to each other. We probably all do that. And I'm like, what is the mountaintop? What are we all fighting for? Because
Right.
I don't even know anymore.
Mhm.
And why is everybody fighting? So is that like maybe a little similar when it comes to like the disclosure community or, UFOs? Is it just a lot of infighting so we can't handle disclosure? Or would we really lose our minds? Are we just not there yet?
Mhm.
And
Both.
I don't know.
Both.
Yeah.
It's both. We would lose our minds. It, everything would have to be changed.
I don't think we're
Everything.
ready. I thought for a little minute we were ready as a society. I would have said we
Mhm.
were for a little minute, but we have regressed so hard, I
Yeah.
feel like. And
Human
I
beings
don't
hate
think,
human beings. Now
yeah,
add
I think
extraterrestrials.
it would be
Yeah.
very difficult
Mhm.
for there
Mhm.
to actually be aliens. I feel like,
Yeah,
Jean-Luc
especially
is
if you're
out
gonna
there
have our president
saying
chaining up
no.
one of them and walking them around like
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
this.
that
What the
too.
fuck?
Mhm.
We
Get
got
the fuck
one.
get the fuck out of here. The shit.
And the thing is, whether the government says it or not, the ones that know, they're already here. There's no big,
Oh
they
yeah.
were here before we were.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
There's
definitely.
no big secret.
Mm-mm.
People always say, "Oh, I need proof of extraterrestrials. I need proof." I tell everyone, look in the mirror. I
Yeah.
believe human beings are the
Yeah.
greatest proof for extraterrestrial life
True.
that there is.
Yeah.
And
True.
that is evidence we can touch, we can look at, we can poke it right in the eyeball if we want to. You
Mhm.
I
know?
mean, you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Intelligent design. Human beings are the proof of it. So, I mean, I think we're all aliens and we're just like
It's a great
like
theory.
Kara was saying, people are so busy looking over here and stuff like that. And because of the breadcrumbs and this coming,
Mhm.
all this unnecessary hype. And, the main thing is really all about working together and like what
Yes.
Mhm.
Kara was saying, and
Yeah.
that's what I do. I work with so many different paranormal teams. I will work with anyone. I love learning different techniques. I'm all about teamwork. If I investigate a place, I tell other investigators, yo, you gotta check this out.
Oh,
It's
that's
not,
cool.
oh, this is my honey hole. I haven't
Yeah,
made a single
right.
dime doing
Honey
this.
hole.
Zero. I'm not even monetized on YouTube. I make $0. You know,
I like
but
that honey hole.
yeah, yeah.
I love that. I love that too.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't know. My mind
Well, it
just keeps
is.
going there.
Some
Yeah.
paranormal
My
teams,
mind
they're
went there
like,
too. It's fine.
that's our
Jesus.
turf, you know, that's our building, our location, and they don't want other people going there and all that and stuff. But
Yeah.
I think the end game for at least all the people I'm working with and the teamwork that we're all doing is all data is good data.
Yes, it's
Yes.
para-unity. You're right, Robert, because I'll tell you what, when I started, when I set my feet on the path of paranormal investigating, my biggest thing was para-unity. We're all in this together. But immediately I saw that there was a lot of competition and a lot of ugliness. And I'm still put off by that. And it's very unfortunate because I don't understand why everyone is trying to step on somebody else's toes.
Yeah.
You know, they have the best evidence. I'm better than you. You're not
Ego.
doing it right. It is. It's very ego driven. And it's definitely a turnoff. So, but I'm right there with you about supporting other teams, telling them about the places you've investigated. We're all in this together. So, yeah, I have the same mindset as you. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yep.
I'm
No,
sure
next-
we all do.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
Well,
Well,
next thing
and-
we need. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kara.
No, I was gonna say, and that's the funny thing when people try to talk about it being like a science, you know,
Mhm.
that's, you know, maybe this is closer to a science. When we don't share anything or, you know,
Yes,
make
you're
anything
right.
replicable, it's not a science, you know, that's, and we all know situations can be different. We all have maybe along the way a paranormal home, whether we get to hold on to it or not forever, that we get to spend a lot of time. So maybe I will have a different experience somewhere, but to not even share the information to be able to think about replicating it or to
Right.
totally invalidate somebody's evidence because they didn't have the same experience. Well, you have a different relationship with the location and the spirits that
Yes.
are there, or
Mhm.
or the Bigfoot there, or the cryptid there, or the
Right.
whatever, you know, you're going to have
Mhm.
different experiences. And there's no, I think there, or very little, I don't want to say no, because that's so definitive. There's very little effort into making it collaborative and saying, wouldn't that be cool if we all get kind of the same thing? That feels better.
Yeah.
Than never getting the same thing and just invalidating everybody, right? Like
Yes.
but I know that's not how it actually goes. We invalidate each other, right?
Wow.
Like
And and
we
and
make
that's
it a
why I
thing.
prove everybody that we can get together and have these friendships and have our
Yeah.
ideas and just bouncing off and like this storytelling. We all soak it up. I know that. I'm pretty sure everyone here is soaking it all up.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh yeah.
I love it. It's so
Definitely.
dope.
Mhm.
And I love the fact that everybody like knows each other within like it's so funny how I just kind of like thought, oh, these people would be awesome to chit chat. And I'm like, oh, we were hanging out last week and shit. I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
Yep. Somehow.
Now I'm
we'll
over here by
fulfill this.
myself, just
Uh-huh.
staring at a fucking wall.
We'll have to come visit you, Dustin.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah.
Christ.
Yes.
Let's go Bigfoot hunting. Let's
I
go
w-
ghost hunting or
I
whatever.
was
Yeah, I live
shocked that
the
I met
closest.
Melissa before I've met Dustin. Dustin
know.
and I have been friends for years.
Wow.
Yeah, for years,
and,
yeah.
and then I find out he got some new co-host, and I meet her like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah. What are the
Amazing.
chances of that?
What are
Yeah.
the
Small world.
chances?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was gonna have Heidi Pop join us, but she couldn't make it. And that's another one that
Oh,
Robert knows very well.
Heidi,
Pop.
what's
Yes.
up?
Yeah,
Miss
Heidi will
you.
watch this. Yeah. And yeah, Heidi's awesome because she had her own personal Bigfoot experience too.
Mhm.
Oh
In
wow.
Washington,
Very cool.
right?
Yeah.
I think in Washington.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
hot spot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, I just like getting like-minded people and people who had the experiences and stuff. So yeah, it's so fun. I'm so glad this is
It's
working
all
out.
connected,
Yeah.
really.
We gotta do this more often.
Yeah, Dustin, we
Imagine-
do. We have to do this more often.
Imagine if we just put everything we have collected, videos, pictures, audio recordings, if we put just our little group right here, put it all together, I mean, our minds would probably be blown.
Yes.
True.
Yeah,
True.
So
absolutely. No doubt. No doubt.
Kristen,
All
I know.
together, we got
Yeah.
some incredible stuff.
And Kristen has a ton of information, and she is a wealth of information when it comes to
She
cryptids
is.
and going out. And she's amazing, just
Oh,
truly amazing.
So sweet,
wow.
Natalie.
That was yeah.
That's cool.
It's like one of my favorite Bigfoot stories. You might have to brush me up on who the name is and the time era. I think it happened in the 50s where this guy was out camping and he was in a sleeping bag where Bigfoot actually scoops him up in a sleeping bag and then takes him up this mountain where he had other Bigfoots there, or female like, and he was trying to persuade the dude to have sex with the female Bigfoots, and
Mhm.
he's just like, I don't know about that. Here's some tobacco. Chew on it.
He wasn't into
Get
the
sick off of
Bigfoot
it
glutes.
so I can get the fuck out of here.
He
That's a
didn't want
wild
those
story.
Bigfoot
I
I
heard
glutes.
love
that
that
story.
story. I love that. So who is that guy,
Never.
I don't
Kristen?
remember, but he offered tobacco
Yeah,
and demonstrated. They took it, they got sick, and he took off running.
took off running.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
It's well, it reminds me of too of like the Peter Curry. I don't know if you guys heard of that guy. I actually got to interview him. He's the guy who holds the holy grail to alien DNA. He's been on tons of documentaries and other books written about this dude. Anyways, he's from Sydney, Australia, and back in like 92, he was sleeping in bed and it was about 7 in the morning and he felt like a cat jumped onto the bed. He's like, "Whoa, I don't want a cat." So he opens his eyes and he's noticed he's being straddled by a milky white, beautiful woman with white hair and just well proportionate. And he notices another naked woman. Well, there's another naked woman watching this all happening while this woman's just riding his dick. And he's just like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "How the hell are you getting in here?" And he starts to get up, and the woman cups the back of his head and pulls him into her chest, into her breast, basically and kind of like suffocating her a little bit because she was so strong. He like the only way he thought of was to get her off. He bit into her, so he bit her breast, and she reacted back, and he started hearing voices in his head saying he's done this wrong, something's went wrong. He's like, "What the fuck is what the, how am I hearing you?" And then they disappeared out of thin air. Then he noticed that he had an erection for about 6 hours. It was excruciating until he looked underneath his foreskin and he found two hairs that were wrapped around his cock that
Wow.
was like indented where you like stick your fingernail into it where he had to take a tweezers and he's telling me he was screaming and crying like a baby ripping this thing off his dick and once he did it relieved his boner immediately. So he's like, this must have been from them, obviously. And he's like, he saved the hairs and he got them tested by scientists, and they found some wild ass shit with the hairs, like some
Wow.
like Chinese to Mongoloids to ancient like
Wow.
Neanderthal shit, like some weird ass shit in all the races around the world. So it made it sound like it was some kind of like breeding program that extraterrestrials been having with us, and you can kind of relate it to angels mating with humans in a sense. Like it was so magical almost where like they'd kind of disappeared out of thin air, but like it was so physically real enough where like his dick was out of his pants with this, you know, throbbing boner. It was excruciating.
Wow. That's
It
amazing.
happens.
Yeah, that reminds me. I might have told you about this before, Dustin,
Yeah.
that I had two separate occasions, yeah, where um, a guy had reached out and said I was in this lucid dreaming state, and this woman came. It was similar, not the exact same story, but
Sure.
they were this two different men. I was being like taken advantage. They weren't exactly upset about it, but having this sexual experience with this being. And the best way I could describe it, because I don't know the term for it, I use the word succubus, maybe.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, but
A banshee.
yeah. I'm like, but the fact that when the second gentleman reached out and I said, well, the only thing I can tell you is I could reassure you that you are not the only person that came and told me that they had this kind of experience. So it really makes you wonder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've
that's
seen it
wild.
firsthand. I'm not going to get into it. I don't really share this story publicly. I've shared it privately, but when I was a little kid, I had a really traumatizing event seeing something, my mother completely unconscious, something about the size of the bed, long blonde hair, second floor, balcony over a river, no human being. I was still awake downstairs. No one else was there. And something was violently
Mm-hmm.
getting it with my
Oh my
it's
God.
tough. And I she lived on the top steps. I was sneaking up the steps and I heard the commotion, like, the bed banging, which
Right.
I was aware, and I knew my mom, she was a bartender, very used to her bringing guys home, and I knew adults would do adult things. I was very at a young age, I knew what was going on, but there was no one there that night. It was a school night. She was working next morning. And I was on my hands and knees going up, and she had this big king size water bed. And by the time I got to the middle of the steps, I started coming up. I saw this thing. It scared me so much. I slid down the steps. I went back to my room, and I actually, Dustin knows my story a little bit more. I never told my mom I saw that. That's
Mhm.
it, like, when we're kids and we accidentally walk in on our parents. You know what I mean? It's just something you never want to talk about. You never bring it up. You
Yeah.
never say it. You
See no
forget
evil,
it.
hear no evil. Speak. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yep.
it was like that, but it's
Oh
one thing to
no.
see something human. It's another, to see something else. And
Right.
it was.
It's frightening.
Even walking in on the parents, at least both of them were conscious and awake. To see your mother completely out and something, it was so, I don't want to say violent, but animalistic.
Mm-hmm.
Just like lifeless and just, pop, pop, pop. It was
Yeah.
the most terrifying thing I've ever seen,
Mm.
and traumatic, but it happens. It happens in hybrid programs. They're absolutely real. It's a big part of why they're interacting,
Yeah.
happens. I believe it.
Yeah. No shit. It makes
Wow.
you even this. I always like to think of the movie Ghost. The one where he like helps the woman like with the clay and shit.
Yeah. The
Mhm.
Yeah,
pottery.
the
Yeah.
pottery, whatever. Yeah, and he's like still in love with her, and stuff. And he goes to that train station and meets that one ghost that like knows how to move shit so
Mhm.
easily, and he's still
Yeah.
like having trouble
Yeah.
and shit. But no, it's just like these human emotions too. Where you think goes to miss earthly, feelings and like earthly pleasures, kind of like sex too. Like, hardcore sex workers or porn stars be like, damn, I missed that orgy back in the day. Yeah, say it like that. I don't know.
So do
Yeah,
you
I would
think
think I'd miss some things.
so y'all,
They
y'all
miss
think
those
they're
earthly
more
pleasures. Yeah.
so do you guys think they're more extraterrestrial or more interdimensional or
Oh, yeah.
what?
Hmm. Good question.
All the same thing, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
I was going to
Tesla.
say distinguish between extraterrestrial and interdimensional.
Well,
Yeah.
more interdimensional, they're coming from another dimension versus extraterrestrial, they're just out in space and kind of
That's true.
coexisting
Yeah, no,
with
you're
us
right.
in another location.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I always like to talk about
Oh.
Iceland a lot
Mhm.
because Iceland is a treasure trove for having stories of these interdimensional human-like beings that are called the elf people that have like very clean-cut blonde hair, blue eyes that kind of look like the ones of Lord of the Rings. But they more than half the population of Iceland believe that they live side by side with these elves. And you can't build roads, you can't move rocks, you can't do certain things on the island unless you get the permission first from the elves. So I'm like, does some from the government get the men in black over there to talk to them, or do they have like
Mhm.
they write a note on the cove
Yeah.
in the bottle and throw it near the cove? Like what the fuck? But people who say that's hash posh fairy tale shit, and they start building roads or moving rocks. These people have died, gotten sick, machinery would break, and the things would get moved back and shit. And like, don't fuck with us.
True.
And then they tell people who are traveling through Iceland not to throw rocks around Iceland because you might hit one of their interdimensional people and they will kidnap your ass and throw rocks at you.
There's always some kind of repercussions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, but
very
the fact that they're very detailed on that point, they're
Yeah,
like,
well,
oh, fuck
it's
you,
very
shit.
similar to what it is in Hawaii with the Menehune. Very
Oh,
similar.
sure.
You have to get
Sure.
permission
Yes,
from the
yes.
Menehune to build roads, to do construction, to do things, and then if you are visiting an island, before you leave that island, you need to make sure that there's no pebbles in your shoes. And it's very, very strict, because if you don't, the Menehune are going to get very angry. So it's very similar and very
Yes, I
far
heard
away
that.
from one another.
Yes,
It
and
is
these are
very
like giant
interesting.
beings too, like almost like Bigfoot like beings, aren't they?
The Menehune, they're
Yeah.
very tiny.
Oh, they're tiny. Okay.
They're tiny.
Well, they're the pug wedgies.
Yep. They're small but mighty.
The little pug wedgies. I did it so cute.
And to
Sweetest
circle
one.
back to what Kara was asking about, the difference between extraterrestrial, interdimensional, all the dimensions, portals, things, all these things. At the end of the day, Tesla said, if you want to understand and have the keys to the universe and understand the universe, think of terms of frequency and vibration, whether it's cryptids, extraterrestrials, spirits, exoterrestrials, terrestrial, there's so many. And think about this. Here's a mind bender, right? All right, let's say you're in the fifth dimension, but you have the technology to change what frequency and vibration you are and hop into a different dimension. So you're from the fifth dimension and you decide to go into the third dimension. Wouldn't you be in the third dimension? You want to exist in the fifth dimension, right? But oh, wait, there are some that can exist in multiple dimensions at the exact same time. It gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. But to understand anything, everything has a frequency and everything has a vibration. To truly understand any phenomena, we must look at that. That's
Yes.
the key.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm curious, Kristen. I'm dying to ask. Would you say your experience in November when you were with Natalie? Would you say was that your most intense experience? It sounds like you're very knowledgeable and you've witnessed a lot of things. But would that be the number one?
No.
No.
No, that's actually not. Probably, gosh, I've had a couple that really stand out. One was where I still really don't know exactly what happened, but I was being pulled out of my bed by these entities that happened multiple times. And at first I thought it was just me dreaming, even though it's never happened before, hasn't happened since. But for a handful of times each time it would happen, it'd get a little bit more severe, to the point where I was fighting off this large entity the last time and actually chipped my tooth as I was fighting it, trying to
Oh my God.
pull me out of bed.
Wow. So it was pretty violent. Wow.
Yes.
You needed a dental. Yeah, you needed something. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh my God.
But I woke up and I was like, when I say woke up, I felt like I was already awake, but woke up a second time. It was like very strange. I had actually handprints on my arms.
Really?
And
Wow.
I had claw marks on my legs. And so that was quite intense. The other is when I watched a couple friends disappear into a portal. We don't know what it is. A cube-shaped object just absolutely disappear in front of me on thermal. At that time, I didn't realize what was happening. But then after it was over and you look back, you're like, what?
Where are they now?
Yeah.
Are
what
they
the
back?
I was wondering. Yeah, I was going to ask the same question. Did they return? And what was their experience? Yeah.
Yes. They actually, they returned. They realized they had walked into I'm just going to say portal. I don't know what it was, but they realized that they had walked into something. That environment changed, the atmosphere changed, what they saw changed. They immediately said, basically, and turned around and walked back out. But both of them actually passed away not long after.
Oh, really?
Both of them did.
Both of them did. One unsure really his cause of death, but he was great shape. Like we called him a ninja. He was amazingly just basically healthy guy who died.
Really?
Pulmonary related. We're not sure.
Damn, I'd be blaming that fucking portal.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We don't know.
Shit.
Then the
Oh,
other gentleman, his cancer returned and he passed away too.
yeah, 'cause
Wow.
there's radiation in that motherfucker.
Gamma,
Well, yeah, we've
gamma
all had
ray.
radiation.
strange health
Oh,
problems.
shit.
I developed nasal cancer. It's like, who gets that?
Right.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
My goodness.
Yeah, and pulmonary issues. So it's strange, but those are probably two of my most
Wow.
Yeah.
Intense.
standout moments.
That's intense.
Aside,
That's insane. Yeah,
aside from my
two people dying. Holy bitch.
yeah,
Better stay away from that
Just
shit.
one.
right. Aside from my first Bigfoot encounter, that terrified me, and that's what started me down this path when I was like,
Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah. So from those experiences, is that when you were like, okay, I need to find out what's going on here? Is that when you like chose to delve more into, that realm of things?
Yeah, I mean, I was since a kid, of course, interested in the strange, the weird. I've always had this
Right.
fascination with it, and I always dealt with ghosts and spirits since I was
Mhm.
a little girl. So that wasn't abnormal to me.
Yeah.
But after my first Bigfoot encounter at the age of 16, I was like, okay, I tried to ignore it a while, but I was basically having nightmares. I was
Mhm.
like, time to do a little digging. It's time to start researching. And I was a strict Bigfoot researcher. Like, I know ghosts exist. I know they're there.
Mhm.
But this Bigfoot, I've got to find out more information on.
Yes.
Well, I found more things than Bigfoot out in the woods. So, I started branching
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, if you're hanging out with Natalie, she'll bring you fucking
Right.
Stranger Thing creatures.
Yes. Colors and orbs and portals and I don't even know, little people we've even called them thermal.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And the fact that you had your own physical experience, like you said, developing nasal cancer. And that reminds me of a time, it was roughly 4 years ago. There's a very well-known place in my area in Philadelphia. It's called Fort Mifflin. And I was filming with a paranormal team, and we were all tuning into the different things. I was sitting down doing an automatic writing session, and I was tuning into the spirit. She's a well-known spirit that haunts the fort. She's known as the Screaming Lady. The locals will call the police because they will hear her screaming at night. They think a woman is being tortured. And of course, the police will come and they can't find, anything. So I was tuning into her. Her name is Elizabeth. She obviously passed away on the property. I want to say it was maybe early 1800s. And so I was tuning into her and I was writing down what she was saying. And about 2 months later, I got severely sick. I was lethargic, had no appetite. There was no logical explanation. Went to see specialists. And it turns out that I developed the same condition that Elizabeth passed away from.
Mm.
So, what are the chances of that? Like you were saying with your experience, what are the chances of that? So, thank goodness for me, it was just changing my diet. Now I'm just upset because I can't eat whatever I want. Now I have to be a little bit more conscious about that sort of thing. But yeah, what are the chances of that you come in contact with, this sort of thing and then you become sick? People pass away. I mean, I don't feel that's coincidence. I feel that there is something truly happening. So
I completely agree with you. I also had another dear friend pass away. It was Angelia Shearer. She was big into MUFON. She had a night out. It was Travis Walton, good guy.
Yeah.
Another researcher friend of mine, Matt Delph, and it was Angelia Shearer. They'd had actually some of a UFO experience from what I can remember. And soon after that, he got this odd health condition, like a blood dyscrasia. I mean, he was quite sick, and to the point to where I was worried that something may happen to him. And Angelia Shear, she actually developed glioblastoma, like brain cancer. And
Oh my God.
goodness.
yeah, so after this encounter, both of them sick, ill, one
Right,
time.
with something severe. I mean, that's wow.
And of course, we all know Travis Walton. He was
Mhm.
fine, but after his encounter, he was quite actually healthy. he believes that they somewhat kind of healed him and
Yeah,
heightened
they
his
did.
IQ. Yeah. I don't know.
Why do you think they
strange about
chose to heal him and
Well,
the
they did
others?
blast him with the Blu-ray, and
And
his body.
harm my mother, you know.
Yeah.
My mother had a lot of serious from her being in these hybrid programs. She had a lot of strange things. She was 5'9", tall, beautiful, slim, skinny, you know. Um, she had a lot of weird things, especially around like menstrual. She would bleed like 3 out of 4 weeks all year round.
Oh my
Constant.
God.
She tried to have her tubes tied to think that it would stop all that. She kept on miscarrying, a lot of strange stuff. When she was 25 years old, she had her lung drop, like diver's lung. Yeah, it was from them taking her up in these environments that aren't suited for human beings, and she was in the hybrid program. But oftentimes but I've heard the miracles too, and like what Kara was saying, you know, what causes, and I believe that depends on the agenda of the species they're coming in contact with, and each species may do one thing and another, just like our species. So, um, and my mom was never afraid, but these were just side effects, you
Mm-hmm.
know, of what they were doing to her. It just came with the territorial and these crafts emitting off extreme gamma radiation, which can be found in lightning, nuclear energy, volcanoes, UFO sightings always happening. My UFO crash within 2 miles of a nuclear plant. That's why it goes against national security. It wasn't supposed to happen in a no-fly zone near a nuclear plant. What would be exploding, risking all the lives here in New Jersey and Delaware and Pennsylvania and Philadelphia?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I'm sorry, Deep State. Um, there is no national security, no such thing. Yes, so there's serious side effects, and it's a shame for those who truly suffer.
Yes.
Um, it's it, but I
I remember that
it's
one
hard. You
fam.
don't want to talk about it because you don't want to fear monger because it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like that. My mom wasn't afraid,
Right.
but it's a side effect that happens, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's one famous case of one family that actually sued the government for their UFO sighting because they got injured during their sighting. It was a mother, a grandmother, and their son that was sitting in the back seat, and there was this diamond-shaped UFO that had a flame underneath it, and there was a Black Hawk helicopters flying around it. So when
Oh,
this thing
I
got
was like,
right over,
how do you sue the government
I
for
know.
the
I've been thinking that.
UFO?
Yeah.
yeah. So no,
But
they had
there
all
were
this.
some Black Hawk
There was like 20
helicopters.
helicopters just flying around this giant diamond. It was like straight up like diamond shape, and it had like a flame. Whatever that flame was got way too close to the car, and they got radiation poisoning where their
Their
hair
their
started falling out.
eyes their eyes were like rotted red, like
Ew.
Yeah, their skin
crazy.
was boiling. Their
It
hair started
melted
falling
them.
out. Yeah, some of the
Yeah.
yeah, the ones that were closer to the light. Yeah, so they won the lawsuit somehow.
Stop.
So yeah, it's
Because
been
it was
interesting.
probably ours.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Seriously.
Possibly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Elon Musk back in the 80s. He was as a teenager. Fucking asshole. No, but yeah, no, it's crazy. This world that we live in, and this the politics, the wars, all the distraction, Epstein files. That really, I think the Epstein files is the one kick that like cracked the whole, the circus open. That was the Pandora's box. It was all like finding out that we have powerful people that are eating children and doing pedophilia, and I don't know how they find each other. Is there like a,
Was anyone surprised?
you know what I'm
I
saying?
don't
Like,
think.
is there certain symbols where they have like goggles or go, oh, there they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How is this all formed to find each other? Especially rich
Yeah.
people at that, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we're fucking kids over here. Like, what?
Mhm.
What are we doing?
Yeah,
We're
if we
eating
were
them
at a
afterwards?
party,
What the fuck?
if we were all at a party and we're all hanging out in a large crowd, and we heard someone say that. Could you
Yeah.
imagine our reactions and
Yeah,
now the people
exactly.
around
What
in
the
the
fuck?
real world? So
Yeah.
like, how are they connecting? Like,
Yeah.
who goes
They
around like, are you one of us too?
so, but they are because I don't think you guys know how many are always arrested for
It's
that.
terrifying.
It's
Terrifying.
I
disgusting.
think you think people are all reported on when they're arrested for this and charged. They're not.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Like,
what the fuck?
don't think this isn't weirdly common.
Well,
Like,
that's
Yeah,
what I'm
like
saying. Is there a bigger agenda, especially entities, that actually make it this possible for us to even not even bat an eye that we have politics, even our president raping 13-year-olds? Like, what the fuck? We're
Yeah.
not doing nothing about it. We're just kind of like, yeah.
it's
I remember
weirdly
one
common.
I remember one time I Googled like around my area, I Googled registered sex offenders, and it gives you a little map. And if
Yeah.
anyone
Oh
wants to
yeah.
have real nightmares at night,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
That's just
highly
crazy.
recommend you do this. And when you see your screen with chicken pox, like it's terrifying. And then your
Yeah.
next thought is, I want to know who these people are.
Straight up.
Like, and then you start like getting all, and then it's just like, and then you feel sick. You
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
sick because you had no idea how many of these awful people are all
Mhm. Are
around you.
close by. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
again, it's just like that. You just can't just openly be like talk about this to find other people that are like
They
like-minded as you. I'm
do.
saying,
No, they
is there where?
do.
What the fuck is? It's
Yeah. It's
And
like an
well, not.
nobody stops
underground.
It's
them.
kind of like it
It's
reminds
like
me of
the
like the
black
Blade
web.
movie with the vampires, where they had to get
Yeah.
smarter because Blade was hunting their ass down all the time. Where like the symbols they had to
It's
read them. All
it's like
different
going
things.
on the dark web and just having a conversation with
That's
these
so
these
crazy.
freaks. I mean, they're in this underground community. And it's, known like in Hollywood, if you want to be rich and famous, you basically sell your soul.
Hmm.
And
Sure.
it's like,
Yeah.
and then you become rich and famous, and then they try to lure you in and they tempt you with money and fame and fortune and everything that you want. And they're like, I want that. Well, there's a sacrifice.
Yep.
Well, joke's on them. I don't got a soul.
Yeah.
Never by me. Not for sale.
Never sale. It's kind of like it reminds me of was it that Homer Simpson episode of like the scary episode where he wanted to sell his soul for a donut and like
Yeah.
Flanders comes up as the devil and like oh it's great. Eating donuts for all eternity. He eats all of them too. He's like, how the fuck?
I love The Simpsons. They predict everything.
Yes.
Yo, that's another thing too, right? Or the Mandela effects that we have.
Oh,
Yeah.
so many.
Mhm.
That's just like it's just like is they just like test our reality just to kind of toy with us in a sense.
Mhm.
Again, what entities are doing this? Or is this like I don't know. I mean, I feel like we're living in a psyop. Or I feel like
It's
here-
preconditioning.
right. True. Well,
That's
here I
what
work.
it is.
I used to work at the hospital, and I just recently got fired a few weeks ago after working there
Oh,
for 23
snap.
years. That's
Are
all
you
right.
kidding
I'm
me?
so
It's some
sorry.
What?
very petty shit. Very petty. Very petty. But anyways, I'm glad. I'm not surprised that place is not in Epstein files because there is so much weird, fucked up fuckery in that motherfucker. Where there's love affairs, drug abuse, and we had this guy 6 years ago that had a fetish for baby breaking babies' bones at night. So he was a nurse at 3 in the morning, go and creep up and 5 babies got their arms broken and legs snapped. So these babies are waking up and their parents coming in to their beds and they're seeing these babies that look like pretzels. You're like, what the fuck is
Wow.
going on? All these fucking lawsuits, and then I had to go to HR not too shortly before I got fired because some guy came in the break room and gave me Polaroid photographs of himself in a furry suit, posing all sexy. I'm like, what the fuck is this? He's like, oh, I thought you would like to have them. I'm like, have them? I was like, hell no, what the fuck? I made a huge scene. I went right to HR. I was like, yo, this dude handed me these Polaroid photos of himself thinking that I would like to have them. how inappropriate. Or, like, we're adults here. Like, this is so gnarly that this guy has a fit. I don't know who this guy was. So this guy must be picking on me for a
Wow.
minute. Like,
Yeah.
who's this hot headed up fuck boy looking around? Like, what the fuck? I don't know.
Take it as a compliment. That's what I always do when a guy hands me a picture of them in a
Oh,
bikini
yeah.
and a furry.
No, dude, that was next level shit, man. Like, all his teeth are all spread apart. It was all crazy. Like, I wanted to kick a field goal, if anything. Anyways, that was bad. So, yeah, I feel like certain areas where, like, the hospital and other craziness, just, I don't know, man. There's a bunch of, there's something there. There's something
Something's
weird.
off. Yeah.
Something very off this
Off.
world. Yeah.
You know, people are lured by power and money and greed.
Yeah.
And I think they're willing to do whatever it takes to do that, whether it be in Hollywood or being an executive or whatever it is. It's somebody in power. It's disgusting. They do. I've seen it so many times where good people will climb the ladder and become completely different people you wouldn't even recognize them.
Nice.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, I know
It's
that
like,
none
I
of
would
you
know
would
that.
do that. So, ha!
Never.
That's why
you guys
I
are
plan
true.
on always being a nobody. I never want to make it to the top.
If I won the lottery, the only way that you would know is I would be at the LBL for 3 months in a case. That's how you would know.
Productive and constructive with your time. Exactly.
Yeah.
If she's gone for 3 months, we got to go out there and look for her and then
Yeah,
make
for
sure
sure.
we get a cut of the pie.
Yeah,
I've made friends with a Squatch. I've named him Kitty.
Kitty.
Like, you belong there.
You belong.
You'll stay.
I did not expect
With a large pole. Huh?
Oh, Lord.
Kitty's
I'll-
such a good name for a big feet.
Oh, hey, Kitty.
Kitty,
Can I rub your
Uppies.
feet?
I can train him how to do uppies with me, you know.
Uppies?
He's 9 feet tall. He could pick me up and swing me around.
Oh,
You
Oh,
know.
that got me.
that'd be great. I can make it like an AI of that if you really want me to.
You should.
He'd like pick you up out of all of us.
Like puppies.
Take care
Kitty,
of you.
Kitty,
You call me
up.
Kitty. Little Eskimo kisses and shit.
Oh yeah, it would be adorable. It would be absolutely adorable.
Do it, Dustin. Yep.
Yeah,
Kind of.
we'd have matching outfits.
I mean, I could get a little bit naughtier if it's a good-looking big fit.
No, it's cute and it's uppies. It's just cute.
I got some marijuana they could choke on. That'd be my escape. No, I love talking crazy. But yeah, no, it's great. No, I'm so glad that people are gonna get a good laugh out of this episode for sure. Man,
Yeah.
this is great. Well, let's see. We could tell maybe with one good funny story before we bounce out of here because it's been like about an hour and a half. But I don't know. Anybody got a funny story?
Funny
Anyone?
I actually do.
Oh,
Okay, good.
all
Because
right.
I was gonna be like,
Okay,
this is very on the
so-
spot.
I was gonna say I was gonna tell one off topic.
We
Go
were
ahead.
doing a paranormal investigation.
Mm.
And we just decided, nothing was going right. Literally nothing was going right. You ever have one of those investigations? You're like, we're done.
Yeah.
We're just going to sit around and drink. And we're just, we've got a whole bar set up. We've got snacks and we're just sitting around bullshitting. And we've got like some cat balls up and we've got whatever. Well, we start telling these funny stories and we're just going around and we're just laughing. We are having the time of our lives. The cat balls all around us are going off. Buzzers are going off. I'm like, are y'all having a good time here? And they are, every cat ball just went off. They were having the time of their lives laughing at us. And we're and we even said, these spirits are probably over being asked, oh, when did you die?
Right.
What year is it?
What year is it?
We missed
Blah,
that
blah,
beer
blah.
over there.
And then we're like, they're probably, and like everything went off. And they're like, and they just confirmed, this is just a bunch of shit. Here we are, just trying to be, entertained. So we just ended up entertaining them the entire night.
Mhm.
And we had such a good time drinking and laughing and them laughing at us. And we were singing and acting like fools. And it was so much fun. So the next time y'all are out on a paranormal investigation, just have a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good advice, actually.
Mhm. That's awesome. Yeah, the ghosts were having a grand old time right along with you.
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
They're like, we like them. We want them to come back. Like you said, we're tired of, this answering the same questions. Yeah, we want to kick back and laugh and have a good time.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
I'm going
cool.
to tell you my little story. It's a little off topic and it's not paranormal related, but it's a funny story. And I like to tell it all the time because, I don't know, my friends and my family like me to reminisce this story because it's wild. But anyways, this is back in high school, back junior year, and I was in my Honda Civic hatchback with two of my friends. And my friend in the front seat was eating a bag of combo pretzels. You know those combo pretzels, right?
Delicious. Yeah.
So we're driving on this one road and we see this biker coming up, and my friend in the front seat is like, would it be hilarious if I nailed this biker with a pretzel? I'm like, of course it's gonna be hilarious. So go ahead. So he rolls down the window, he leans out, he whips his pretzel and hits this dude right in the cheek. And this guy just starts pedaling as fast as he can to try to catch us. And we're laughing hysterically because we're in a fucking car. There's no way he's gonna catch us. Until he come up a few, going down the road until we come to a stoplight, and there's tons of cars in front of us. My friend in the back seat, he's like, dude, that guy is coming. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I lock the car up, and this guy hits the side of my window. He's like, get the fuck out of the car. I'm like, no. And I'm like, he gets in front of my car and he picks up his bike and he starts beating at my hood of my car, scratching it, deadening the fuck out of it. So my friend in the front seat rolls on the window and he grabs the tire and they're playing tug of war with the bike and scratching up the shit. And this is right in front of a fire station. So 5 firefighters come running out and see all this this ruckus happening. And I had drugs and alcohol in the car. I'm like, shit, I gotta dip. So I knew my house is like 6 blocks away. So if I thought to myself, I can get the car into the garage, I'm good. So I almost hit the guy, and his bike fucking flies off my car when I'm driving off. And I get to my house and I put it in the garage. Right when I did, the cops were going every which way, and I just must have just out of thin air, there's the cops was like, no way, there's no way he just vanished. I didn't drive that motherfucker for 2 months. Just in case, I don't know. So anyways, we wanted to get this guy back because he fucked up my car so bad. So we waited after school on the same street. We were smoking blunts and shit, and we were kind of thinking what we were gonna do with this guy. He was fucked up my car. We weren't gonna beat him up or anything, but we're about pranks and shit. So this other one, we waited with 2 cars. The first car had a 2-gallon bucket of ice cold water, and the second car had a pound of flour that was cut. So the first car, my friend's leaning out his ass out the window and shit. It had this big thing, hits him like a tidal wave. He's always like, oh. And the second car hits him with a pound of flour right in his chest, and he explodes of a cloud of flour.
Wow.
Like a cartoon. He's covered in white. And then the cops come knocking at my door after that, and they were telling my parents what the whole situation happened. My parents were trying not to laugh and stuff like that. And then
over a combo.
Yep.
Over a pretzel combo. And the best part about the story was the cop told me that I was not allowed on that street for all eternity.
Really?
He told that even my soul wasn't welcome back, that motherfucker.
How long till you
Wow.
went on the street? How
Whoever
long?
uses that term for never been allowed to come back
Eternity.
for
So have you
eternity.
been back? Have you been back, Dustin?
Of course I
I'm dying to
have.
know.
That's where I saw my
Okay, it's been
UFO
so-
sighting.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
What a badass.
Yeah.
Risking it all.
Yeah.
Such a rule breaker.
Well, we used to do yeah. Well, here, sorry.
I'm a loner, Dottie. A rebel.
Rebel Dottie, yeah. No, all right. So one other story, and it's based off throwing shit at people. You thought I would learn my lesson.
No.
And it was the same street, coincidentally. So
That you were
this is
banned from.
where we're banned from. Yeah. So
So this is after you were banned.
because this street had this like cliff area where it was connected to a park that had a bunch of trails. So we just sat up on the cliff area, just looking down at cars and just like nail them with eggs and stuff.
As one does.
So two of my friends and I were sitting on this cliff area, and we all had 2 eggs in each hand, and we nailed this SUV. And it came to like a screeching halt. Like, this guy came out with a flashlight and started climbing up this cliff, like fucking a superhero. I'm like, I looked at my friend who was the fastest out of all of us. Like he was supposed to be the decoy if anybody did chase us. All right, you know what to do. So he waited behind while we fucking dipped down the trail. This motherfucker who's supposed to be the decoy comes down the same trail that we're running down. I'm like, dude, you fuck. And this flashlight comes up in my face. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm running and I jumped in a bush and I thought I lost the dude because I saw the flashlight scanning the area and shit. And so I just pop up and he grabbed me by the back of the neck. He's like, I got you, little motherfucker. He grabs his cell phone. He calls his buddy. He's like, I got one of the motherfuckers. Come meet me up at this middle street. I was trying to like just reason with the guy. I was like, I was just watching. I swear to God, I'm in high school for God's sakes. And he's like, and this SUV that pulls up. It's all covered in egg. he's like, opens the back door and he's like, get in there. I'm like, I'm not getting in there. He's like, you're getting in there. I'm like, no. I'm like, I straight up, I stretched up all my limbs. He's pushing me in my back. I'm screaming, help!
It's like a cartoon.
Until he finally puts me in there, I fucking started crying. He kidnapped my ass. And then they just kind of like tortured me by like, threatening to kick my ass and shit. And they felt bad enough because they saw how pathetic I looked. They drove me to the mall on the west side. And they dropped me off. And I called my friends. I'm like, you won't believe where I'm at. You got to come get me. I told them the whole story. They wouldn't believe me otherwise. But yeah, they believed me because I was like on the other side of town.
Wow.
That was fucked up. It was very bad.
Didn't learn your
Yeah.
lesson.
Yeah.
Learn your lesson.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You picked the wrong people to mess with. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're safe and everything.
But yeah,
because
so
my
I'm here.
goodness. Yeah.
I don't. Now I study UFOs instead of throwing
Yeah.
pretzels
Not throwing
and
eggs at people.
eggs
yeah.
at cars.
Pretzels and eggs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, on that note, we're going to wrap it up for tonight. That was so awesome. I want to thank you guys so much for
Yeah.
just kicking the shit because I thought that was so fun, right?
Yeah.
Awesome
Some good
meeting
laughs
all
and
of you.
good stories.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, well, can you girls and guys stay with me for one more minute?
Sure.